Hey internet, so today I thought I would do a long haul flight guide. I have been on quite a few long haul flights and I can tell you now that they are pretty shit. Obviously if you're in first class then it's a win, but if you're in economy for 14 hours and then another 8 hours then it's a little bit depressing and you feel like you are gonna die. Just kidding, it's not that bad. But I have been on a lot, so I thought that I would kind of share some tips with you of what to bring, how to keep yourself entertained, and all that stuff. So, my first little tip is try and book a flight that has a very short in-between waiting period. I don't know why you'd want to spend more than an hour or 2 hours at an airport waiting. Obviously, sometimes you have to, you don't really have a choice. But when I was booking my flights home and to England from Australia, I made sure that I only had like an hour at the airports in between, so then it's like quite quick, you're just straight on and it's like easy breezy. Otherwise you're sitting there for hours and you just get so tired because you can't sleep, you can't really do much in the airports. Also I'd recommend like only having one stopover because a lot of people seem to try to go for the cheap option where they have like 2 stopovers, but like it just makes the time longer and you honestly just feel so much shittier if you have to stop a few times and get off the plane and then, because it's not just hopping on a plane and then going, it's literally like you get to the airport 3 hours early, you fuck around for ages, you put your bags in, you go through customs, you have like 2 hours to kill, you might have something to eat, whatever. Then you have to wait to be boarded. First people get priority, then you find your seat, then you're waiting on the plane for ages, sometimes they're delayed. It's such a mission sometimes to get on the plane, so it's really not as easy as just jumping on. I just honestly think like the quicker you get there the better. My favorite seat is an aisle seat because you don't have to like get up over people, like it's not awkward if you're flying on your own. Aisle seats is always what I go for. I've had an exit seat before, which is the one in front of the exit door. You get like lots of leg room, but like you have nowhere to put your feet. Like normally when I'm behind someone, I can put my feet on the like their little hand rests without it being like in their face. Like it's just more comfy if you can put your legs up. So maybe like the middle ones, but obviously like babies usually go there. So there's like pros and cons to where you sit. I don't really have like the best tip. I'd say first class is the best place to sit. Window seats are also really good because you can like sleep on them. It just depends if you think you're going to be getting up to go like wee constantly, because if you are then maybe that's not the best, but if you don't tend to get up and you think you can hold it, then maybe you go for a window seat. Essentials to bring: neck pillow for sure. I've got a memory foam one, and like if you fall asleep and you're sitting, it kind of supports your neck either way and it just stops you from like really having a shitty neck. Water bottle. You're not allowed to bring water bottles through customs, but once you're through customs there's lots of shops, and I would definitely recommend buying a water bottle to take on the plane with you, because some flights like the flight attendants aren't that attendant? I think that's not the word. Not that they're shit, just like they won't come around and be like, do you need water, do you need anything? Because they've got like hundreds of people to look after, which is fair enough. I just like having the water with me so I don't have to ask. If I get thirsty like throughout the night or whatever, I can just have water there. So that for me is a definite. Earphones and headphones. They do supply earphones normally, but they're usually like really shitty, so I would suggest bringing like your favorite headphones if you're a headphone person, or just some like iPhone earphones. Keep in mind that they do have films, TV shows, games, all sorts on your little like screen on the front if you're on a long haul flight. If you're on a short haul flight then there probably won't be. And again, check that your airline does, because pretty sure one of my friends had like an 8-hour flight. She was going to England and she did the 3 stops thing, or the 2 stops, and on one of hers they didn't have a TV and she was just so bored. So like check that your flight does. Most of them do, but yeah. Emergency snacks. This one again depends what airline you go with. I flew with Singapore Airlines on my way home, and they feed you so much, like it's so good, and they were really like accommodating. They like went out their way to like ask how you were, whereas on the way over I flew with Etihad, and they were like not very, like I didn't see much of them. I just found Singapore Airlines were much more like urgent about what you needed, giving you food, stuff like that, so it was amazing. But just take like some emergency snacks. Like again, you have to buy them after you've gone through customs, like some crisps or sorry, chips, or you know, something like that, an apple, whatever you're allowed to bring on, take something like that. But don't bring an apple through customs because you will get it taken off you. I just think food is like the most important thing, so obviously that's on my list. When you get through customs and you're in duty free, maybe buy a book, quite a thin one preferably, so you don't have to carry it everywhere. I've done it where I've bought a book that was quite big that I was halfway through, or like 3/4 of the way through, and I finished it on the plane and I left it on the plane because I just could not be bothered to keep carrying it, which some people might be like, but it was just easy. If you don't sleep well, like just with your face out and light and stuff, then maybe bring an eye mask. I've got one from my gran that says, so I can't see my chocolate stash. They were really good. They also provide you with an eye mask sometimes. Again, depends what airline you go on. Some give you really cute packs with like mini toothbrushes and everything, and they're just adorable. But if not, and you need an eye mask, bring one. If you don't tend to, then don't. Comfy clothes is like such a must. Like, I don't wear any makeup when I fly, and I don't wear anything that's gonna be like hurtful or like annoying, obviously, but you know what I mean, like wear things that are almost your pajamas. Like, don't worry about how you look because everyone's gonna look shitty. You just want to be comfortable. You really want to be comfortable, and I'd say like some really comfy socks because your feet will get cold. Some people wear like thongs on there, like flip-flop thongs, whatever you want to call them. Even like some makeup wipes, so you can just like wipe your face because it might get oily. Hand sanitizer, or I've got these like antibacterial wipes just because like sometimes things are gross, and if you read some of the articles about hygiene on planes, it's really off-putting. Like, just saying. They also say you should never go barefoot in a plane because of all the gross stuff. I just usually have like a little toiletries bag with like my toothbrush, some toothpaste, some like headache tablets in case I need them, my hand sanitizer, the makeup wipe, spare hair tie, things like that, some moisturizer, some lip balm, just a little essentials bag, let's say. Also tissues, like the mini packs of tissues, because personally I'm the type of person that always has a cold or a runny nose, so I just always need a tissue, so I made sure I had them. A pen and maybe like a notebook. If you're not like a writey person, then don't bother about the notebook, but I personally am, and I found it really like a really good time to catch up my like journal on like all my travels and stuff. Just sit there and write, and I got heaps of like blog post ideas done. So if you're that type of person, definitely bring something to write on. If not, just bring a pen because you will need it when you go into a country and you have to fill out the little card to say like you don't have anything to declare and like your passport number and all that. You'll need a pen, you always do. So I've put adapters because sometimes on the planes they actually have the plug. So if you're flying like American Airlines, obviously they're gonna have an American plug. I've got one somewhere that you have like switches on the side, and it's USA, Australia, New Zealand, Asia, England, I think that's it. So it's got like all the plugs, and you just pull the lever of which one you are, and it works, so it's awesome. Obviously your phone, because that's entertaining, although you can't have it on actual mode, you have to have it on airplane mode. So yeah, I think that's about it. Try and sleep as much as you can, although like what I tried to do was tried to sleep when it was sleep time in the country I was going to, if that makes sense. So you're trying to get yourself into the thing. It's really hard, honestly, like, but if you're on a long haul but if you're on a long haul flight that's like hours and hours, like 14 plus hours, then I would recommend sleeping because it definitely passes the time. But other than that, yeah, like keeping yourself entertained with movies, having a sleep, you eat in between, it breaks it up a bit. Try and get up and move as much as you can, like walk along the aisles a bit, stretch your legs, do some like little foot stretches in your seat because you can get vein shit, and like that's not fun for anyone. Plus you just get a bit numb, like you get a bit like, oh, my bum was so numb towards the end, I couldn't deal. But yeah, hopefully I haven't forgotten anything. I feel like, oh, your passport. Obviously take your passport with you. I feel like that's a given, surely. But yeah, other than that, I think I've covered everything. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions or you want any more tips about flying. I have written a blog post, like I wrote it ages ago, a flying guide. So I will link that in the description. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did, and make sure you subscribe. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.